Hey, Lair, I want to end with any tips, any actionable items we can give fathers.
Yeah.
I mean, not that we're perfect. We're also learning.
Yep.
You and I are both in our 50s. I feel like we have a few tree rings, a little bit of wisdom, just
Yep.
life. Definitely not Yoda, but
Mhm.
or I should just speak for myself. But anything you've learned that you're like, man, I wish I knew this earlier.
Well,
Raising
I think
kids.
this thing that I've sort of been steeping myself on for some time is if we're afraid of our vulnerability, you better be sure that your kids and the people who love you are going to be afraid of your vulnerability. They're not going to want it in the room. They're not going to know how to accept it. And I think debunking the perfect father and this Herculean strength that I think gets bestowed upon us, and some of it's cute and fun, but I think when we debunk that version of strength and we invite in the idea that there is vulnerability is not synonymous with weakness. Being a vulnerable man and showing that to it's quite vulnerable. Both of you, your father doing that was so sweet and kind.
Yeah.
And so in this vein, we begin to when we invite in our vulnerabilities. Whenever there's a sad movie on and we're watching it together, the boys turn and they jerk. They need to look and see if I'm tearing up. And when I make a mistake, which I often do, I don't pretend that I didn't. I don't
Right.
leave it. I don't not speak to it. I turn to them and go, not my best moment, fellas. Not my best dadding moment. And I own my shit. And I tell them it's okay to be imperfect. And in my imperfection, I become actually stronger in my vulnerability by redefining strength through vulnerability. That for me has been the big piece, is to redefine strength through vulnerability.
Hey, lately I've been trying to think of a word that means the same or similar to vulnerability, but not use the word vulnerability, because there are some wellness words that are so played out they don't resonate anymore, like narcissism or even codependency. Vulnerability is one of those words, and when it comes to men, everyone is saying yes, we need to be more vulnerable. But what's another word? Can you think of another word that kind of means the same?
I've got one, two, maybe. Follow my thinking on this, and it may be getting close to played out. It was 2023's word of the year. It's authenticity.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm authentic, it means I'm real, and if I'm real, then I am allowing room for all aspects of myself, even the ones that nobody claps for.
Yeah, but that's okay. So for me, that's a more powerful word, because when people say vulnerable, they just think like, oh, you got to be aware of your feelings, or you got to cry, you got to show tears. Authenticity to me has different actionable items. Authenticity means to be honest with yourself,
right? But
no matter
in order to do that,
who's
you
in the
have to be
room.
vulnerable.
Yeah. Of course, the vulnerability will come in, but we don't have to announce that.
No.
But if you focus on being authentic, the vulnerability is kind of baked into the process.
Yeah, the one behind it that I would use is alignment.
Yeah, I like that too. That too.
Yeah, if I'm in alignment, then I'm aligning with all aspects of me, the darker parts. I'm the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, and within that, there's the opportunity for wholeness.
Yeah,
we want to deny those pieces of us, those vulnerable parts, those weaker parts of us. But what we don't understand is that real strength comes from wholeness. And that is through authenticity and through alignment. That's being real and letting our insides match our outsides. Holy shit, is that vulnerable? Is that scary? Is that being real? Try it.
Yeah.
Watch what happens.
It's hard. I also gravitate to solid self and pseudo self by Bowen. And if I'm ever feeling pseudo around my child, people I care about, I ask myself, well, what does it look like to be solid? And then see if I can execute that. And also, if I'm being pseudo, why am I being false in this moment? What am I trying to prove? Where's this coming from? And then what would it look like to be more in my solid self? And then that's the execution. And then that may be giving yourself permission to cry. That may be, combing your daughter's hair. That may be announcing to your child that you are not perfect, or that you fucked up, and that's okay. So
yeah, all of that. I like that solid self, because I've been looking for something other than the wise self.
Yeah, the wise self sounds a little too Yoda.
It's a little too lofty.
It's a little too. Yeah. After my divorce, I got solid self on one arm, pseudo on the other arm, and it's not a light switch. They're all kind of both existing, and I lived a very pseudo life before, so now I try to be more in my solid self. Lair, thank you for this conversation and episode 2. Mm-hmm. Yeah, check out Lair Torrent on Instagram. Follow him; he's a great follow. And also, if you haven't listened to episode 1, check that out. These are sprinkled throughout my podcast, so check out episode 1, and then meet us back for episode 3.
Look forward to it.
Yeah, thank you for listening. Be well.
All right, bud.
Wait, stay here.